I would like to thank my beloved subscribers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to welcome to the first trial segment of episode 5, Bridge to the Turnabout. Last time we left off, we were Miles Edgeworth, and we were the defense for the case. And our defendant was Dahlia, or Iris Hawthorne. I think, yeah. Actually, does Iris have a last name? I don't remember. That's not the point. But anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty sure the prosecutor is going to be Francisca by process of elimination, but maybe I'll be surprised and it's gonna be Winston Payne. I don't know. Let's get into it right now. So yeah, we have a lot of evidence. All we need to do is combat the arguments made by the other side. Oh yeah. And last time, we learned that Yeri has a trust on Iris. So yeah, that too, I guess. I don't think that's as important though. Oh my, Mr. Uris? Mr. Uris? Oh my, Mr. Uris feels that way? About me? Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. Oh my god, you're blushing. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. No, sure you are. I mean, not that you have the judge, or Winston Payne, or Phoenix Wright falling all over you. You are hardly accustomed. Worry not. In any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Uris is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bettini. She claimed to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one more time. It really wasn't you who killed Mr. Yeast Bingham, correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Okay, no sight yachts again. We act in a different way. And, I don't think the game is gonna do another Hitman again. Because that's just uncreative. Like, oh, there's another Hitman. No, doesn't seem that likely. Very well then. Mr. Edgewater. Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed, don't worry. I made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney. God damn it. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and believe until the bitter end. That is what my friend once told me. Mr. Edgewater, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. I like how they name kind of put like a philosophical meaning on real jobs. Like, because in real life, you just know that like that's not true at all. Like, a defense attorney's job isn't to trust people. I mean, it works a lot if you do trust that your client is innocent. It's probably like the best way it can work in the system. But yeah, I mean, it isn't really the job to trust them. You just defend them. And a prosecutor's job isn't to doubt people. I would say that's more the job of a detective, is to doubt people and like look at the situation and like think about it in different ways. A prosecutor's job is just to take the information and like try to build a case against somebody. So yeah, I mean, some people probably don't like how this game takes a philosophical ideals and applies them to real jobs, but I'm okay with it. It's a game. You don't take it seriously in real life. You don't take it seriously in real life. But you can if it's a game. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Iris of Hayatora Temple. Is that her last name? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh, I like how he had the old golden badge on his shirt. Or his, I like how he has the little golden pin on his, red suit. I like that. The defense does appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecution had no confidence in their ability to prove their case. Damn. What if they were in traffic? It would seem that the case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. The court finds the defendant innocent. Like, imagine that. Imagine it is that short of a final case. Like, the writer just gave up before they even started. That would be hilarious. Yeah, no, of course not. I knew it. The prosecution stands ready. And you are Francisca Von Tarma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Tarma, you say? Perhaps chance you wouldn't have any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred Von Tarma? Legends are a thing of the past. I am a Von Tarma. That is all. Okay, kind of remove yourself from your father. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edward. Yes, Your Honor? I am almost certain I have seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? Ooh. Yeah, no, Miles. I'm pretty sure he doesn't recognize you. You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. Hey, wait, well, why didn't... Oh, wow, I forgot that this, had blew a lot bigger. Why didn't you change your appearance? Like, why didn't you, like, change your haircut even? Like, you did nothing to look different. I believe you are imagining things. Miss Von Tarma, Do you have anything to say? There's no such weak name as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't, but I'm sure once before in this court. Wow, he doesn't have a bad memory. It's been what, like 5 whole years? Or 6 whole years since that case? But he still remembers Edgeworth's face, kinda, as a prosecutor too. So yeah, this guy doesn't have a bad memory at all. I told you, there is no such weak thing. What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for that in my court. Bailiff, remove that whip at once. I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecutor can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. Why? That doesn't make sense. No, like, that doesn't make sense. Because, like, Phoenix Wright is in hospital. He was never put on the record for this case. So, also, you were told in by Miles Edgeworth to prosecute the case so that he wouldn't get in trouble for being a defense attorney. Why do you think that you would face Phoenix Wright? But looking at you now, maybe this is what I've been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I shall not allow this chance to trust you slip between my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the historical. Allow me to add to the things I'm not actually sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. The stage is set. Now continue with your proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Tarma. Please give an outline of the case, and don't whip people. With a little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Denim. Her body was found in the Hayatora Temple courtyard. True. She has been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword. The sword in the picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well, the court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Crime photo. The court record where Elise Dunim was killed. Murdered, I guess. I don't know what the difference is. There is no mistake that this was the doing of Sister Iris. Objection, speculation. Or conjecture, maybe, I don't know. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. Wait. Shouldn't we do the detective first? And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. After this, I will never defend anybody again in any form or fashion. What the fuck? Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on there. I'm not sure I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. What the fuck? If I recall correctly, there are a few melt plates in the defendant lobby for our back pain plagued clients. I'm sorry, what? There are a few melt plates in the defendant lobby for our back pain plagued witness. No, back pain doesn't make you shorter. That's not what back pain does. But please fetch a plate with this poor old lady, please. How? Once again, your name and occupation, please. You know me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hajatora Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bettini. You got it? Bettini. Nice to meet everyone. You're not wearing a bikini. I don't know how I feel about that. You lied. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Ow! The courtroom in the garden of holy judgment. The courtroom in the garden of holy judgment. Judgment. Those with luxury in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. This sanctuary where I whip people and where I use clever legal loopholes to lie to people. This truly is a holy place. You want me to leave? No need to that your bikini genitally. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear old Irish could do anything like that. Did anybody hear that? She said there's no way dear little Irish could do anything like that. Put that on the record, people. You gotta hear what you have to say then. First, we should talk about your own movements that night, eh? Witness testimony! Night of the murder. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my bat liked to act up violently. So I left Irish to help the acolyte and returned to Hayatora Temple. There's no bath in the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soap. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, right when I saw it. Saw what? So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hayatora Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my bat hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There is only one person with this testimony that I can see. Oh, there's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. Shit. God, I wish I had some sort of mentor or little Dale on this side of the courtroom that telling me how to do my job. Because I have no idea how to do a cross-examination on this side of the courtroom. Usually I just object to whatever Phoenix says. Fuck. How do I do this? That would actually be really funny if that happened, and then Iris had to tell him how to do his job. I mean, but I guess Miles Edgeworth isn't Wright Phoenix, and it would actually know how to do a prosecutor's job. That night, I was hoping an actor with her slamming at. Okay, well, let me just hit it. What is this inner temple? Oh, yeah, I need both. Give me a minute. Well, you see, conversing with the spirit is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking the questions. After you trust the directions, ma'am. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There is a small temple across Dusty Bridge called the Inner Temple. Athletes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? I pour water on them. It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. There's a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hayatora Temple when the murder took place? Well, because of her bad back. We know that. Yeah, of course. We already know this. Violently. That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Sipping the eye be like strict training. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous blast of yours hurting again? That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed up, it was finally gonna finish me off. So I asked Iris to return. So I asked Iris to help the athlete. Okay, well, go forward. You asked Iris to help with what? What do you think? The athlete training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter the training exercises proper. What is it your plan? Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, this job is simply to watch over the athlete so they don't pass away, so they don't fucking die. That's insane. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met with Iris in the Inner Temple, correct? Yes. She's a gentle, honest Dale. She never once failed to follow my directions. So we have that on the record. She is an honest Dale who wouldn't murder somebody. Oh shit. I'm sorry, I forgot what I was on. Well yeah, this one. Okay, yeah, I already did that. Okay. There's no bath in the Inner Temple, and I needed a nice yawn soap. So, you returned to Hayatora Temple in order to take a bath? My bath is to blame for everything. is to do or be done and wailed, you see. How long were you in that bath, if you don't mind me asking? My, what a filthy old road you are. I know what's on your mind. Huh? How old are you? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? Ew. I think you're the one with the dirty mind, all things considered. This is why you have to watch the young ones. What are you going on about? I was pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low. Is there some sort of pick me sign stuck to the back of the defense's bench? Yes! Now you know how it feels when people misunderstand your questions and the other side fucking whips you. It's crazy, let me tell you that. Yeah, now you know what it's like being on my side of the court. I hope you change your ways now. Anyway, I couldn't be afforded to be away from my post for too long, you see. So, it was after I had finished, just when I was heading back, when I saw it. What is it? The trial took place in the courtyard, correct? Where you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway. You have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it would be a coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. That almost certainly seems to be true. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. Oh wow. Okay, so I have to find a contradiction now. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, I'm pretty sure that we should do Iris's testimony. So yeah, because Iris's testimony basically says, hey, I wasn't there, I was in my room. So I'm pretty sure that is what we have to press. I'm gonna do this one. Objection! Oh wow, that's a powerful voice. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well. Don't worry, I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hayatora Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bells, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means that she did not go to the inner temple at all. No! She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? Yeah, no, that is a good point. But why would she lie about being closer to the scene of the crime? The witness is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hayatora Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. I'm dumb! I'm joking. That wasn't... I mean, yeah, no, she had a point. Why wouldn't that be a lie? But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. So honest that I would drink poison for her. All people lie. That is my... All people lie. That is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped here? Hey, I was whipped like a minute ago. Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means... Well, that's not true. Which means we must call your memory into question. Dear, you're older than me, and yet you want to play that game, do you? Shit, she got all serious. Well, that isn't exactly what My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. My back forcing me to remember. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edward, if you are going to collect in the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Then please add your comment about Irish to the testimony. And yet I return to the cross-examination. Okay, so it's gonna stay the same, and we have to find something else. That night I was helping Nathaniel with her training in the inner temple. As you can see, my back like to act up. That's it. We just pass and hassle and passel and bassel and nassel. Oh, wait, I got it. The hood. Because okay, so Irish Dave Phoenix this hood, before she rung the bell, but, Bettini says that I returned to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been during dinner. But this hood, but she wouldn't have been wearing the hood. So let's try this. Objection! Yeah. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant, whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of cloth, I'll have you know. Wait a minute. Objection! Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That is the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Tarma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I am going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claimed, then the Irish seesaw should have been missing this very hood. Whoa! It's not a bad feeling at all. Exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. That's nice, you're actually getting it. Sister, this hood, you have Shabaya ones around the temple, don't you? Shabayas? Well, no. This is actually the only item in which we do not have any Shabayas of. I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A Shadot pile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Yeah, no, that isn't good. I would ask... I'm sorry, I did turn down the volume a bit. I would ask... here's what I would do at this point. I would ask Bettini, hey, Bettini, how many hoods are there? Yeah, you make too many, but yeah, do you ever have an official number of how many there are? Like an inventory of them? And then I would say, I would basically be like, okay, so this is the number of hoods you have. And then I would try to see if this was the only one. Basically trying to prove that Iris didn't take another hood. Each nun is only given one hood, okay. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Yeah, that helps us. But all Francisca has to say is, maybe she took another without asking. Then this is quite strange. What? If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Montarma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as these will sow seeds in any human's heart. The seeds of doubt. Ooh, Miles Edgeworth is doing the yawn game. Witness? Well, I don't wish to tell your testimony into question. You must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on the way back to the inner temple. Ha! Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. Man, Edgeworth is planting those seeds right now. It's almost impressive how, this actually does feel like kind of a difference between Miles Edgeworth and Phoenix Wright doing a cross-examination. Also, yeah, so, I was usually you get the detective, but we didn't even do the detective. So that's an interesting difference between most trials and this one. After my bath, I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was, Mr. Tajis, and the sword of all things. Mr. Tajis was standing in the corner room, which faces out onto the garden, onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Is there any proof that she was pushed out of the window? And I am gonna take the bathroom break right now. Okay, everybody, we are back, and yet keep going. You saw a truly horrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Tarmo whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in place, in tort, in two in tort, and me seeing it from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge had the same energy as Dick Dumshoe. Didn't Dick Dumshoe say something like that in a previous time? Like the last episode? That's funny, like almost on the same wavelength. Oh my god, yes! His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Dick Dumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? It is more professional. After my bath. I fit in my bath at around 11. Hold it! How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on the Shadumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes from Dusty Bridge to Hajatora Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the main walkway towards the main hall. I go like that, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I come to yacht and you say you heard a noise. Jump! Just like that. Just like that noise that played over my words. That could only be the sound of the victim falling down. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Don't just, well, okay, there's no way it would be that loud, but okay. But then, couldn't this noise you have heard been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was snow. Maybe I never heard the body fall. The net one TF gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the noise, I looked over at the courtyard and I was like, yeah. This is the second time that the witness had testified to seeing the defendant, but some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, Jeff, what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword, Sister Bettini, try to recall exactly who it was, as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that had been bugging me all day. Okay, what is it? Please don't keep us in suspense. Her hood. That's right. It's coming back. Okay, was she wearing a hood or not? Yes! Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood. Oh, That's not good, actually, now that I think about it. Because, it's bad. Because, okay, so let's assume that there are two irises. Just for this hypothetical. Let's say that there are two irises. One has a hood and went to the inner temple. One doesn't have a hood and didn't go to the inner temple. We are trying to prove that our iris didn't do it. The issue is that now, Bettini is basically saying that our iris is the one that did it. Because she isn't wearing her hood. So that's actually not good. That is not good. Shit. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she had given the hood away to someone, right? Shit! I'm with you there, Edgeworth. Ha! You've done your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. Yep. What do you have to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is the testimony important? I mean, this testimony isn't beneficial for me, so I should probably say that it isn't important. But I can't just lie, can I? Hey, and there we are. This line of treachery is only going to tear the wound open further. These statements are as useless as the investigations of a certain detective. There's no need to retort them. Is Von Tarma going to object now? Very well. Please continue with your testimony. Really? She just let us get away with that? Well, now I feel like they're important. Should I go back? I assume that this is one of those situations where if you get it wrong, it will just take you back. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Miles Edgeworth. If you want to hang yourself, you only need ask. I'd gladly lend you my whip. Damn, that was hardcore. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. No problem. Okay, make sure I would have her hood on. Is there anything we could do with that? Okay. Okay. That isn't helpful yet. Isn't helpful yet. Isn't helpful yet. Isn't helpful yet. Trying to really find something. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, have her hood on. You are sure about that? Yes. After all, we always wear the same clothes. I don't mean that. I don't mean the type of poor, you understand. It's our style. Yes, that's it. Then there's absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, she look different from normal. So that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of a whip. A whippet puppy? What the? Okay. At least then it might bite you and not someone else. Iris didn't have her hood on. I'm sure of it. Very well. Now please tell us about the victim, eh? Okay, what is the Turner room? The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room was on the second floor. No, Honeytor Temple is a single-story building, but the mountain itself is sloped downward, which elevates the main hall side, gate side of the temple and the decks in the back room to about the height of a 2-story building. Oh, that's weird. I really wish we had a better map. Yeah, we really don't have a good map of the temple. So yeah, it's actually a really cool idea to have a building that is 1 story, but the way it's built makes it different levels. I would actually really love to see a cross section of the building that basically shows the incline of it. I would like to see that. To about the height of a 2-story building. I see. And the victim was staying in one of the elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carries her things to her room after all. Damn, couldn't get Iris to do it? The sedan I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. It doesn't feel like she's lying. This is a very powerful testimony too. She claimed to have seen the instance in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are 2 things I can believe in right now. My client, Iris, and my abilities as a defense attorney. In my back and around the evidence, I should return to the inner temple. Okay. Well, that isn't a help yet. Loss of blood from a dab in the back. Yikes out. Picture, probably not gonna be helpful yet. Magazine of Occult, I can't imagine that's gonna be helpful right now. Okay. Ooh, but that basically doesn't help, I think. Yeah, I've learned that I should check whenever I get a button that says check. I should always press it because there could be stuff on it that's important. I'm really gonna be looking at these 2 though. Seems helpful. What a bad I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took the yacht and Iris and Omaya and I sort of all things. Now that you mention it, Iris didn't have her hood on. So much of it turned after she was put out of her window. Oh, I don't know. I think I would need proof of I don't know, guys. Can't really imagine this stuff is gonna help much. Because the issue is that she did not give a lot of detail about the actual content of the game. She did not give a lot of detail on this statement. And I really do need more detail on it. But some doubt remains in these frames. Yeah, no, that doesn't give me anything. Well, your handsome. Yeah, no, that didn't help at all. Maybe I need to go here to Okay, so it must be this claim. But what evidence could possibly predict it? Because we never even went to her room, so we don't know anything about it really. And that the map isn't detailed enough to really be helpful. Oh, maybe it's like how much snow was on the body? Let me check. Oh, maybe it's this. Oh, after death. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, wait. Loss of blood after death and death. After death. Yeah, so... Okay, yeah, so it's this one. I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't read it close enough. Okay, let's keep going. Impressive object. That's what I'd like to say, anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else. Especially in winter, when the pain makes me focus really fucking hard. However, I think you overlooked one thing. Miss Von Tarma, would you be at time to take a number of the autopsy report? The autopsy report? Shit, I didn't update it. The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. That's right, it says after death right here. The scene the witness claimed to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, then how did the victim go on to take a 10-story fall? Order! The victim was killed, then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed in the defendant. What the fuck? The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was thrown out of her window into the courtyard below. What, are you saying that she stabbed and managed to keep the weapon in her from the tumble? That doesn't make sense. Were there any signs of a struggle in Mr. Dunham's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain. Wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Tarma, was there any blood? No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip had just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, then your claim that... I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, then that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like the lid on the wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. Wait, let me check something real quick. Okay, but in this picture, the sword is still in the body. Are you telling me? Here's how it happened, according to them. Okay, so Iris and Miss Elise Dunim are in her room. Okay, Iris decides to kill Elise Dunim. Okay, like this, like to stab her with a very long weapon. Like, it is a very, look at how long that weapon is, okay? Now, Iris stabs her like that. And somehow, for some reason, Iris throws the body out the window. And the sword somehow remains in the body through the fall down. Somehow. And then what? Like, and then she moves the body to the sword? Why? How did the body fall out the window? And why wouldn't the sword come out at that point? Also, would it even be easy to remove the sword? It looks like that statue has a pretty tight grip on the sword. So, are you telling me, somehow, Iris took the sword, brought it to Miss whatever her name is room, stabs her, and somehow pushes her out the window? Because, like, most windows are not easy to be pushed through. Like, look at my window. This is my window. It would be, this is where the window starts. Right about here, this is where the window starts. See this? It would not be easy to push me out of that window. I mean, I do have a toy chest in front of it, but my point is that, yeah, it would be hard to be pushed out a window, I would think. Like, most windows aren't on the ground. And second of all, wouldn't there be broken glass? Or would the window open? But that doesn't make sense. Why would the window be open? Think about it. Look, it was snowing. It was snowing. Why would you want snow to enter your room? And second of all, why? Like, it's a temple. They are on a mountain. It would be very, very cold. You would close your window. So, was there any broken glass? There wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of a window with the sword still in place. Wait. You're also telling me that somehow... Okay. Let's think about this again. Okay, so... Iris stabs Elise Dunim in the heart. And then she dies... Because, like, she died of blood loss, right? So, like, I'm assuming she must have lost blood. But where did the blood loss come from? Because you're telling me... Okay, Von Tarma, you are telling me that somehow the victim died in her room of blood loss. But you are also telling me that no blood was lost on the room. Then where the fuck did she use blood? She died of blood loss in her room before she fell after death. So, you can't say this. It doesn't make sense, Montarma. I have made so many arguments, and you have not disproven any of them. With the sword still in place, this removes all Okay, fuck me, I guess. I don't know why I'm talking. Okay, Edward, you better blame out at least one point that I've made. Order. I must admit that this is a probable version of events. I expect no yes from Flynn Von Tarma. CEO takes and takes control of every vital point. It appears that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all suppositions from your part and tell us only the facts, please. What? Remain standing on the milk plate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage after we are done here. With the whip? Oh boy. Alright. I am kinda mad that Edward didn't at least argue about it. Because okay, so we didn't even talk about, was the window broken or was the window open? Because if the window was open, then okay, all except that it was a possibility that she fell out the window. But if the window was closed and there was no broken glass or signs that the window was open, then how do we know she was pushed out the window at all? Okay, when I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Miss Elise Dunim. I've never seen so much blood before. Like when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Miss Ami was stabbing Miss Elise through the back. So we should arrest that Sadatsu. This all confirms Miss Montarma's theory. Montarma should strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Flynn Montarma. And I am here to teach you just that. Further details. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. At that time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all of this, of course. So I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. That contradicts the image, which shows that blood had been spilled. I'm sure you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. Okay. But even in this picture of the crime scene taken by the police officers, the sword was still in the wound. So, what? When did the blood get lost, then? In any case, let's be clear on one important point. Did you actually see the instance in which the victim was stabbed? Thinking about it, I didn't. Okay, yeah. Think carefully. This is very important. It's Iris we are talking about here, I think they were all I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Miss Ayush's body. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and dropped into the courtyard. Okay, I have another question. So, was there any blood near the ground? Was there any blood near the ground under the window? Because I don't have the best memory of what the courtyard looked like, but I'm pretty sure the window and the statue are not right next to each other. I'm pretty sure there's a bit of a bit of distance between them. So wouldn't we be able to see some blood under the window? Like, even if the sword acts as a blood, it's not acting like the best blood. Blood is still coming out. She died of blood loss. So saying that the sword is acting like the blood completely, that doesn't make sense. At least not all the way. The victim was stabbed in her room and dropped into the courtroom. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. Don't you have periods? You're saying you saw the victim's blood. That's right. Some of it splattered onto Iris too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-sweat clothes were neatly folded in the corner. Yeah, no, that's not good. I don't know how the defendant did that. You're right, Montarma. That is actually very good evidence. What? Her clothes were blood-speckled as well? That does seem to be quite conclusive to me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do now. Press further, of course. We have nothing to use. Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw little blood when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding. Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the Dale pull the sword out plain as day. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Oh, was it that important? More important than you can imagine. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly removed. The blade plunged into the hilt. Wait, what? To the hilt? No. This is not to the hilt at all. And neither is this one. You're just wrong on this point.
Objection!
Oh, really? That's not it? Okay, I'll take it.
Objection!
Yeah, of course. It's obvious. Sister Bettini, you are a reliable witness. At least, that's what I like to think. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But You're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claimed to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Objection!
Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble? I too may appear weak and fragile, but I can thrust men under my heel and make them weep, so I choose. Okay? Is that because you have a whip, or is that because you're physically strong? Like, I don't know how strong you actually are. You say you can make men do that, but is it because you have, like, you're actually pretty strong? Or is it because you have a whip? Because a whip isn't a very, like, I don't think you have to be very strong to make a whip work. So, like, a whip isn't the type of weapon that requires a lot of inner power. You just need to know how to use a whip. The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit.
Objection!
That isn't the only issue here. If this sword would truly stab into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it is an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. I mean, yeah, look at it. I showed the weapon being like this, but it would be more like this, with two ends that... Like, okay, looking at it, looking at the weapon itself, like, looking at this, like, you stab into it, but like, the side blades, like the little branches, would those have stabbed in too? Or would only the main point have stabbed in? Let me grab a pen like this. Okay, so, okay. So you stab it in. Would only the main point be stabbing in? Or would all 3 points be stabbing in? Because these are slightly turned in different directions. So would they all stab in? Or not? And then when you get it all the way to this point over here, what about these? When you shove those in, would they also go in? Like, the weapon is far too bizarre for this to make sense. To stop the bleeding.
Objection!
That's nothing more than conjecture. Oh, shut up. It's not conjecture if it's logical. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shido. Even a weapon of this nature may still slide out smoothly. Oh, wait, give me a minute. May still sometimes slide out smoothly, and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
Objection!
That is also conjecture. Like, You say that sometimes it would do this, or sometimes it may not do that. But that is also conjecture. Like, we're both making arguments based on what happened. But, like, you say, oh, sometimes. Mine is most of the time. I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more? This one is simple and impossible to refute. If this sword really was thrust all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Ah! Oh God! I'm dead because that was too good. Ah. If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood only on the yape of the sword. No! Order, order, order. Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single point of evidence. All the other attorneys I know may have managed one, if that. But what did this all mean? It means that there's a possibility the Shido isn't the murder weapon at all. You have proven contradiction regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shido. The Shido. What? A foolishly... oh God. A foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think the sword was a murder weapon? Well, it's because Mr. Ami was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shido was the murder weapon. Well, that and the fact that it was in the body. Order. So, maybe the Shido was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. Yeah, no, that's a really good argument. I can't beat that exactly. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Ooh, what is it? I don't know. Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon... Okay, yeah. Okay, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to where a sword-like object was found. Answer the question, Miss Von Tarma. You don't have it, do you? You don't have your decisive evidence anymore, do you? No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me. Should I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking. It's possible that maybe what actually happened was that maybe what actually happened was it was just over there. What exactly are you doing on a boot here? What exactly are you doing on a boot here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Well then. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. What else? What else could this woman have seen? Location of the weapon, even if it happened. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main hall. And then I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. You never mentioned the snowmobile before. It takes 15 minutes. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusty Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all. Shit. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape. Well, with my back and my age, you know. Right. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here is a photograph. Trap. And with that, I think I am the cut for another bathroom break. Don't judge me. Cut. Okay, people, we are back, and yet keep going. A snowmobile, eh? Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hayatora Temple and run all along the way to Dusty Bridge. Sad. Track photo taken tonight from main gate to Dusty Bridge. Added to the court record. That solved your pesky old problem, yes? Eagle River turret is light swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the weapon. Did you really go that? Did you really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? And not yet she's ever done anything with the river in the past. Mr. Edgeworth, your testimony. Your cross-examination, please. Okay. We're gonna have to figure this out now. Okay. We should just press on everything for now. You are sure about the time? Yes, I'd be worried about it after all. Why was that? The training. I think I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hayatora Temple. Her estimation of time seems reliable at least. Please continue, sister. Okay. After asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. You asked Peanut Wright to report the slime, correct? Right, the one who trampled me. It seems he is the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Peanut Wright, he didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy I always... I'm sorry, when he said that he forgot his cell phone at home, does he mean that he forgot his cell phone in his office? I assume that Eagle Mountain is at least 2 hours away from his office. How do you forget your phone on a trip to the mountains? I'm hoping that it's not a plane ride, but it had to at least be a train ride to the mountain. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Anyway, I was really sedated, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out for the main date for a spell. Okay.
Hold it!
As I recall, there was a motor. Wait, why was I there saying motorcycle? As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it, the only one we have. It will run no matter how much snow falls. Now you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course, it was parked in front of the gate. So she had already gone, disposed of the discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. I'm not sure if they really well of it. What should I do? I need answer to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at the time? Huh? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, my word? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engines. If it was still warm, then that means it was recently used. Oh, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. I'm not repeating that one. Then answer the question, please, witness. It was, wasn't it? I don't often go around touching hot engines. You're fucking useless. However, now that you meant no snow was on it, there wasn't any snow. That isn't good. If we're trying to prove that she didn't use it to throw away the weapon, this isn't good proof of that. There wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yeah. Yes. For some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it? Curses! It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile, eh? How long did it take to get the Dusty Blade by motorcycle? It takes 15 minutes to walk, but yes, to 5 using one of those. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. There's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy I could be. I fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The snow and my bat both went crunch, just like that. Crunch! Crunch! I haven't been able to find the courage to ride anything since then. Sad. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Why would they come back? Why wouldn't they run for the hills? Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for? How would she know? Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that there's more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? I wish could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all. Well, it would have been possible, time-wise. One element remains out of place here. Oh? And what would this mystery element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? I mean, the obvious reason is because Eagle River is very good at disposing evidence. And while there are other ways, this one does get rid of it wholesale. Not only that, it would wipe off all the blood from the weapon. Your response, Miss Von Tarma? Turning but me to help out. Turning but me to help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? Shit, I didn't drop one of the balls. What? She's like over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Besides the obvious? Yahtzee, there's surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Okay, so now I actually have to find a contradiction. I can't disprove this unless the autopsy report says another time. It did not. Okay, keep going. After asking that be reported, I can't disprove that. Give me a photo. There's only one set of tracks. Track indicated no will be behind you. They take 15 minutes to watch to Jesse Blue, but yes, they're 5 in one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon and came that way when... I'm gonna try to do the photo. Because there are only tracks coming back. Where are the tracks coming to?
Objection!
Oh! Yeah! I'll admit that this photo proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Master Miles Edward. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of traps? What do you mean? Iris left for Hayatora Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and returned. If that was the case, naturally, there should be two sets of traps in the snow. Those heading out to the bridge, and those coming back. You're right. You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edward. The snow. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by snowfall. Okay? But doesn't it only take a few minutes? Unless you're telling me that somehow she went there and then it snowed, covering up the thing, but it didn't cover up the ones coming back? So you're telling me that Iris's drive was so yucky that it covered up one set, but not the other set? Like, this is all happening in the span of 5 to 10 minutes. Is that enough time for snow to change that hard? This removes your precious contradiction, now doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return track in the snow. Bada! What do you have to say now, Miles Edward? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. The save. Gonna save. Gonna save. Gonna save. It's flawless! It is a contradiction. Wait, maybe I should check if there is one first. Okay, where is the weather report? Snow. From 7 to approximately 10:50. Oh, wait a minute, let me check something. To 11. It is flawed. Because, okay, so Iris had to have killed Elise from around 10 to 11 p.m. But this report here said that snow went from 7 to 10. Meaning that Elise might have been killed after it stopped snowing. Or a bit after, or a bit before it stopped. I think that's the contradiction. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain? Why there's a rude index finger turret you pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusty Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Tarma. McGregor, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow.
Take that!
Witness! Tell us again what time it was that you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course. This means the weapon was thrown away after that time, right? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report. Snow started to fall at 7, but stopped at 10:50. So that would be before Bettini ever saw the murder happen. Or at least when she thinks it happened. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any track made after that time to have been covered up. No! Oh, your yacht is so perfect, Miles, as you were. Order. Very well, then. It looks like Miss Von Tarma's claim has been snowed in. Ha ha ha. Ah. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Malgegor, how pathetic of you to rely on Weber of all things. It's not like I did that just now when I said that the snow covered up tracks. Answer me this then. When is a Weber report ever correct? When there's actual reasoning behind it. That's when it's correct. No, you got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Forecast, data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. Okay. You can say that about all reports. How do we know that this report isn't wrong? How do we know that the murder didn't happen 2 days ago? 5 days ago? How do we know that the murder didn't happen at midnight? How do we know that the body fell at all? What else is there? Oh, well, I guess this is the only real report we have. But my point still stands. If we're gonna play this game, I should just say that everything has inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. It's true. We cannot be totally sure, eh? Okay. Well then, let's blame the person in. Let's blame in the person who made this report. Let's do it now. See why they made this report the way it was. Maybe you should argue with him instead of with me. What? How did he pull that off? Now you know how I feel to be beaten by such a dumb argument. It had stopped snowing at Hayatora Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Ha! You can't back down now, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that he had already stopped knowing? No. I don't know why I checked that one. No. Well, I can't use this report. She's already beaten it. No. Oh, I got it. Okay, so you're saying that after the murder, when Iris was throwing the weapon away, that it still could have been Shinoing. But if that's the case, then where's the blood on the body? Oh, sorry. How do I... Oh, yeah. Present is... Yeah, X. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was Shinoing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right. But proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was Shinoing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered in snow, with just one exception, and that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Dunim. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed. That's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then this photo, there should be two sets of tracks. My heart is fucking imploding. Order, Jeff, what are you? Jeff, what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used their snowmobile to leave Hayatora Temple. From the tracks, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusty Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because the tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when the person returned to Hayatora Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? I like how Von Parma, uses this term, sister. Because, despite how rude she is very professional when it comes to calling people by their honorifics. For example, Bettini isn't just called her real name. Von Tarma addresses her by her title as in her religion. She is not just Bettini, she is Sister Bettini, or she's not even Miss Bettini. I like that. Very professional. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Who has it? Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. Caught. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the Inner Temple. But Iris said she never went there. I should probably press this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hoyatora side of the bridge and crossed on foot. Okay. That sounds right. But what's odd is when I asked Iris and went to Hoyatora Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusty Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. It is a snowmobile. How would you forget seeing a big snowmobile? Maybe, but when I made it back to Hoyatora Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. Ooh, this adds a whole new layer. But that is impossible! Order, order, order. In the torp. What does this all mean? So, then, what would the snowmobile used it for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the Inner Temple. Okay. If it had been, the witness couldn't have possibly seen it by the date. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killers to dispose of the murder weapon. If that were the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. The snowmobile was used. It stopped. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hoyatora Temple. I never thought such a simple snowmobile would cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Really, you're just gonna pull the plug? Yes, yes. I've got nothing more to add. I've told you everything. Everything I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness, who could have testified to seeing the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking, perhaps near Dusty Bridge on that night? I don't think that's right, Ye. It was told enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot, a dumb, stupid, idiotic, I can't say that word, okay. A dumb, stupid, imbecile, dumb, stupid, unlovable idiot would go wandering in like that. Unless they had something really important to do. Like some sort of romantic event. That's a shame. Hold on. Something's coming back to me. An idiot, a dumb, stupid, irrelevant, dumb, idiotic bastard may have very well have been wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who might be of help to us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to mind. which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder, and the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he's all kind of dumb, stupid, lackadaisical idiot. I love Larry, Mr. Edward. Who is this idiot? This dumb, stupid, shitty, unlovable, bachelor idiot. You, Miss Montarma. I'm joking. This guy must be a product of Jane Yadaryusa's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Dunem. Her student. Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even told him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Not wrong. That is a good, liable mission. Although, I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable looking idiot dumbass bitch man. What exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that information from him, right here in court. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well, Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm gonna get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Montarma, please see to it preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. Fade to black, and that should be a due. That should be the to be continued sign. So yeah, and now it is time for my lunch break. A man needs to eat, and I have not eaten since I started this video. So yeah, let me just go here. And I will meet you back in 20 minutes. Bye! Okay, everybody. We are back, and it is time to continue with part 2 of the trial. Okay, so Larry Butts is going to be told to the sedan to give testimony. Excuse me, Mr. Edward. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are 2 things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claimed to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bettini is lying. Mr. Edward, it is just as I have said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my room in the Hayatora Temple. Very well. That was very weird wording on that one. The second, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Iris, or Sister Bettini, returned to the main hall, in which she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? Oh, there's only one P for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So say, you are really trying to jump out of the hole of the Scythe-Yox. Really, we're trying to grab you, the Magatama, and trying to get you and you keep worming your way out with this clever wording. So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusty Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edward. Oh, we got you! Oh my god. Oh my god. That is so fucking many. Okay. But you didn't commit murder. So, what are you actually trying to hide? Because, okay, so, with all the evidence we have, I think we can at least say that Iris has something to do with the murder. I think something to do with it. Maybe she didn't murder him, maybe she hid evidence, maybe she's working with the murderer, but whatever it is, we know that she didn't commit the murder. So she's maybe helping somebody. I don't know. I wish. I can't tell you about that yet. Yet. Not until her safety is confirmed. Her. The safety of the Atayite. Why did that matter right now? The Atayite, huh? She must be talking about Maya. But why is that relevant to the snowmobile? Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Ajit Dunim? No matter who or what may come, I can never take a lie. Nothing! Wait, no, that isn't possible. That isn't possible, so... I never did it, no matter who or what may come. Okay, so... But, that doesn't make sense, because... Dahlia has taken lives. She's taken at least the lives of Dido or Diego Armando. We know she's done that. Maybe Iris Dahlia. Maybe Dahlia could claim that Terry Falls killed himself. I'll take that. But at the bare minimum, Iris Dahlia has directly killed Doug Follow and Dido. So this has to be okay. The way I see it, either she is lying or she isn't. If she is lying, then somehow she figured out a way to block the Magatama from reading it as a lie. Or, if she is telling the truth, then this isn't Dahlia. And in which case, who is this person? I don't know. As I thought, no Scythe-Yox. Very well, it is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. February 9, 11:39. Court will now reconvene. Ms. Von Dharma, where is the witness? During the blade, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was suggesting something very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was suggesting when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a fearsome whip. So it's you. He's talking about you. I can only presume that his intention was to capture you. Anyway, it is time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. You reached to them. I hope you're ready. Get out here. It would seem that the whip is going to see plenty more use today. I can't wait to see what he's gonna testify to. Your cadets is in contempt of the court. Hey, I was just articulately rendering out. You tried to run away when a bailiff was handing you your subpoena, correct? Yo, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, Viridian. Yuri, this isn't an art store now, is it? I know, I graduated junior high, okay? Damn, couldn't even graduate from high school. Yo, art is all about working in the fields, right? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope. That's it. Thanks, buddy. It's kind of sad I was able to understand his main goal plain rest of the sentence. I just so happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial. Nothing at all. I expect all of your faces to turn red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. Or, to use the technical term, crimson yate. There's no way the technical term for red is crimson yate. Maybe that's a shade of red, but that's not the technical term for red. Ow, 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 God, why am I getting hit? Stop your blabbering and testify as a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross whipping is a bad at cross setting. What is cross setting? Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. This is too much for me. Damn, he is a flippin' baby. He's a baby bitch. What I saw. I was at the lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I was walking to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. That deal I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Or die, AC? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyer during your testimony. I'm just nobody. Nothing but a worthless small man, aren't I? And why wouldn't I ask for my name or occupation or anything? Shit, we forgot to do that, guys. Should we, do a take two? Later as were, they man seemed to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of a number of incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has become to other people. What the fuck? Why are we all tormenting this man? Yeah, he doesn't actually... Okay, the worst thing that he has ever done is ran away from his job. Yeah, his security job. That is the worst thing he has ever done. Besides that, he doesn't really do a lot of bad stuff. Why are we treating him like he's a nuisance? Yeah, the first case was just defending him And he did almost nothing wrong in that one. Right? And then after that, he was in the final taste of the first game, and he helped us in that one. And then in the second game, was he even in the second game? Oh yeah, wait, was he in the final taste of the second game? No, I don't think he was. He was at the security job, but I don't think that was... Well, my point is that I don't see how he has been much of a nuisance. Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything. Every taste. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination with no touching. Thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. So we're just getting right into it. What I saw. I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. What is ever the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? This one single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness? Any ideas as to where the contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my whip. You didn't do it, buddy! Okay, give me a minute. I can figure this out. I graduated junior high. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. That rundown shot is hardly a yard, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like they were there to look at them, right? See? You can do it if you try. Aw, why did you whip him? There's only one issue here. What you saw at Dusty Bridge. Did you whip him because he asked, or did you whip him because of the contradictions? What you saw at Dusty Bridge. Let me read this. We had that yawn not be there at the time that night. Okay. I walked out to the bridge a number of times, but... A number of times. How many? Maybe 5 times? I went once every 20 minutes. Which means... You spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night. What the flip? You bet! Real love is waiting for your heart in your hands. Love, you say? It was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shop. Using this blackmail yet. Why would you say that? But blackmail? No, that was simply a project of overflowing love. What the fuck? You huffy, puffy, usy-doocy abuse for a puff. You huffy, puffy, usy-doocy abuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness. Oh yeah, I did it. Can you guys do that 3 times as fast? You huffy, puffy, usy-doocy abuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness. So, what did you see? I hope, for your sake, you saw a snowmobile. You huffy, puffy, usy-doocy abuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness. Eh? Well, you see, being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all. Yeah, because you kept calling him butt. People, when something smells, it usually the butt. That's funny, and it is cute, but it's also kind of just an insult. That's kind of just an insult if your friends don't use it too. Yeah, are you sure that not just a hidden insult?
Hold it!
Not even really hidden either. Yay! You really didn't see it. Hey, hey, hey! No need to hit your dad. I didn't hear you. I didn't see it. I didn't see a snowmobile. Yuri, say snowmobile for me, please. Snowmobile. If you truly have nothing to hide, then why are you stammering yet you just flew over a tutu's nest? Shut up! What is this? I don't know anything. Don't ask me. It seems you'll need to start with a more obvious contradiction. I'm the strike the blow that will finally let him to spill the beans. I didn't see anybody on that plane that night either.
Hold it!
You didn't meet anyone. That's right, because I've got nothing to do with this. I'm just here to buy some radiant paint, okay? Come on, I bet to see those Crimson Yate faces now. It would appear that simply plushing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. It seems that he did claim to have nothing to do with this till the end. I don't want this guy to talk us any more time. I need to slice through the obvious contradictions and keep things moving along. How did they on that night? Okay, well, he did do that. I can't disprove that. Okay, I didn't see a snowmobile. Maybe I should have done a hint first. Oh, really? I mean, I knew that. I would just say, oh, we... Okay. Hear me, but... I can't understand why you wanted to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you caused all sorts of trouble. Why are we beating him up on this? You're pretty pathetic, and you caused all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But having realized just how much of a nuisance you've been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Actually, are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. You're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let's talk about the night of the murder. Did she actually create any incidents? Yeah, I'm gonna be real honest with you. The only incident I remember Yuri creating, wasn't it the time with the security buzzer where he wasn't there? Besides that, I don't know if he creates a lot of incidents at all. Of course, if I'm wrong, tell me down below. Because I don't think he creates a lot of them, guys. Isn't that what Phoenix said in the first game, right? Oh, but what I can usually say is it's not his fault. He just had terrible luck. Didn't Phoenix Wright say that in the first case? Thus, he had headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened to cross a certain nefarious individual. You, Yuri Butt! That's right, me, in the flesh! Listen carefully, witness. It does not matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. Damn. Why are we roasting his ass? He's not even like the one who did it, I'm pretty sure. That reality will not change. Shit. But What do you want me to do then? Yuri, what you need to do is change your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testify truthfully about this one issue, is all I need from you. And then, you know, you can go jump off a mountain, because after that, I don't really need you. Angie, I think I finally woken up! Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. I murdered her! Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll let it end then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? What I saw part 1, 2, 2, 2. I went to the shack around 9. I went to the shack around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white light suddenly blinded me. I looked out the window and saw dusty blaze on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. Right when I ran into Nick. That wasn't really a contradiction. I just think he didn't mention it because he thought it wasn't relevant. You certainly saw China Yacht, didn't you? So what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing the jail. It totally burned out, like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to toss the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's not life threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he should be told yutty or unyutty. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. What I saw, part 2. I went to the shot at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30.
Hold it!
What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? Well, if you really must know, I was busy getting excited, I guess. Excited? Did I even ask? Yes, I masturbated in the cold. I set the meeting time at 10 p.m., alright? But I couldn't wait, and I thought she might come early too. Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end. I did. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't pity my fond memories apart. Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Irish had lost her way. So every 10 minutes or so, I went out to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shop to wait for her.
Hold it!
This light was of course lightning. Like, chapow! Like the slap from Naomi Odyssey. A big ba-boom! Ow! Or you like that? Ow! That'll be more like a punch from Miranda. Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the blades? Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light. I looked out the window and Dusty Blade was on fire. Seeing that, what did you do? What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart. And while you went to take a look at the blades, Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold at first, so I thought, forget it, I'm not using my tubbers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know, I changed my mind. I'm not sure I can, but the forget it attitude you had at first, witness. Forget about it! You said right away, but how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell, and then the blade caught on fire. Maybe 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly got it to set this out. How far is the small bridge you were in from the... Oh my god, how far is the small shop you were in from the bridge? Hold on, well, I mean, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I think about a 5-minute walk. So, 10 minutes until you got to the bridge. And how did Dusty bridge look when you got there? Like I have recovered a piece of my childhood. My house burned down. I mean, not even the bonfire's teammates at Shadul camp trips can compare. Well, should I flash my little more info? Yuri, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Elsie? What with the serious face? Why didn't you tell anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try to tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusty Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought about doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Huh? Oh, yeah, okay, a reason. My reason? It isn't like I didn't try to tell anybody. I just didn't have time to. I arrived at the bridge, and they showed up less than 1 minute later. That makes sense. Oh, fuck. Talk about brainy. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as you, right? Yeah. I thought I'd better tell someone about this, but then Nick showed up yelling about murder. It totally made me forget about the bridge. The fire was pretty much out by then anyway. What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible taste of unease. Shit. It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct? Yeah, that's pretty much it. More or less. He told me about the burning bridge yesterday. But there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Yuri still isn't telling us the whole truth. Okay. Give me a review of the evidence. Okay, so we have the Eagle Mountain Report. Okay. 7 to 10:30 approximately lightning drop. Oh shit! Fuck! I need to stop dropping these things. Okay, well yeah, keep going, okay. So it's just about 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Okay, so that's actually very helpful. It would have been 9. I was lying under my bed sheet when the playing out of the work playing me. I yelled out the window and then he baby off. it would deal some thunder, yep. I went right away to check it out. I rounded the blade and it showed up yet a minute later. Okay, so. Are you down to the know that the blade was... Okay, wait. We should go here. I went to the shot at around 9. So it would have been around 10:30. Okay, so it would have still been snowing. I think what at 10? Okay. I rely under my bedding and can't argue that when a flash ice in the thunder got the window and then the blue was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. I ran to the plane and they showed up yet a minute later. Oh, I actually don't know what the contradiction to be yet. Tracks? Probably not it. Time sync photo? Probably not it. We're not really talking about the time right now. We're more talking about the thing. Probably not this one. Where that picture taken? Probably not Otol. Whatever data might be. Maybe, but maybe not. Note to Iris. Probably not. We're not really talking about the blackmail yet. All we really have is the weather data, really. And maybe the note. Yeah, with potato. I think it must be this one. I don't think we have any note about when Wright actually did the phone call. So I don't think we can argue that it didn't happen like he says it does. I don't think it's that one then. Right away to check it out. Give me. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, well, usually it takes you back to this side, but it's showing you this side. Oh, I don't know actually. Can't be that one. Is it this one? Okay, yeah, so it's probably the weather. Okay. I need to figure out how this works. What the fuck, Edward? Why are we always mean to Yeri? I don't get it. Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the heck, Edgy? You made me sound like some sort of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him behind on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. I'm terrible at those. Me too. This is much more simple than that. You saw lightning strike Dusty Bridge, and immediately went to see what happened. Is that correct? Yeah, well, I waited about 5 minutes at first, more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes from the shot to Dusty Bridge. Meaning you probably got there at around 11. That sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did a falling act. Is that wrong? That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 is when the murder occurred at... Oh, I'm an idiot. Wait, really? Give me a shot. Okay, right name. Oh yeah, 11. You see, my greatest issue with autopsy reports is always the fact that there's a time. It's always, like, it never tells you the exact time. So you always kind of have to use, like, these two numbers and kind of, like, pick a number and guess if it's accurate or not. So, yeah, I guess lightning would have already fallen, I'm guessing. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There's no way that Yeri could have encountered him at Dusty Bridge at that time. Aha! Excuse me, I have an objection! You do? Easy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Yeri, I'm Eureka Nim! It had not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it should have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Sister Von Tarma. The slope ahead is slippery. For there's still no way that Wright could have been at Dusty Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. That was the contradiction I was thinking about. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until 11:15 p.m. Which means, what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive at the scene until the fire had died down. Yeri, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m. But Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these 15 missing minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by no toilet splashback. I think I was still sleeping after all. Ha ha ha, pinch me. Order. So there was a 15-minute mission. So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. I mean, I have to agree with Von Tarma. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. A problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes, and there's a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident? I mean, to be fair, right? What are they gonna do? Right, think about it. It's all the way up in the mountains. It's cold. There's a lightning storm happening. Do you really think a fire truck is going to go all the way up into the mountains to put out a fire? In the mountains, in a secluded area where nobody is gonna die from a burnt bridge? I don't think so. Also, don't most fire trucks not... Because the way I know it, firemen use fire hydrants to get water from the ground. I'm not sure if a fire truck has any actual water inside of it yet. Right? That's how I see it. So, unless they had water inside of the truck, how are they gonna help? Yay. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe Yeri wasn't thinking about it, but that's what I would think. Yes, witness. Why didn't you? Were you simply there to watch the bridge burn? Yes, he was. He said that. And therein lies the problem. Even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. Like what it sounds like. Okay, but what did this all mean? Oh, but this is Yeri we are talking about. And even he is incapable of being so fucking dumb, stupid, idiotic, foolish, stupid. Which means that there has to be a reason for his inaction. Does there? I know you said he'd be that stupid, but what if he just didn't give a shit and wanted to watch the bridge burn? You can't really argue against that, can you? Edgy. I think it's about time. Shit, there's a daily music they're playing. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought, you've been playing with us all this time. Listen, I'm gonna tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. Ha! I may really say it this time. Everything. Then say it. Shit. Is he gonna be the hidden mastermind of this entire game? Very well. I have a terrible feeling about this, but however, yes, have this witness finally give us the whole truth. Now then, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? Witness testimony. The mission, 10 minutes. I'm a dude, Nim. I'm an artist. So what do you think I was doing? Seduction in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and all that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the page was gone out and he came running up. I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect seduct. Including the truth from the sounds of it. Mr. Edward, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. Well, yeah, because it's the truth, right? So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? Because he didn't want us to know that he didn't fulfill his civic duty? I mean, you did harp on that a lot. I intend to drag the reason out of him. You'll regret this, Ezzy. I'm a dangerous man. Okay. I really want to see the drawing, though. Hold it. Tell us, Yeri. My name is Yuri. Get it right. Mistakes like that are what keep you something popular in the 80s like I am. So who exactly are you? I'm Yuri Nim, apprentice extraordinaire. That's what he calls himself in any case. No, I told myself Yeri in the last case. Then you are an artist? Of course I'm an artist. The real thing. Yet again, that's what he calls himself. Names mean nothing. There is only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing? That is a very big issue indeed. That was a literal nothing burger. Oh shit. Let me go back here. Okay. Said that same. The burning bridge? The burning bridge and everything that came with it. What? Came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. That seduction of mine is enough. Just take that ridiculous seduction of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. Or even to you, Mr. Edward. What should I do? I had a terrible feeling the instant this seduction revealed. The entire whale may be changed by what is depicted there. What the fuck are we talking about? It's a picture. Really? I wonder if you could show your seduction, please. What are we all doing here? This entire whale is a joke. Well, even I couldn't imagine it would turn out like this. Imagine what? That your reunion debut would take place here today, like this. Ow! Show it now. Okay, but steel yourselves. This in the world of your wish to them. Okay, so yeah, a burning bridge and a lady flying over it. Okay. What? Well. So this is just the bridge, correct? It's like the orange bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Tarma. Yeah, so, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. Then that ugly in his face. No one had the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Yeri? What? The burning blaze is fine. But what is that unfortunate yielding figure? Oh, you spotted that. I thought you might. However much I want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course. Iris! I wish she had taken better care of herself. We have to plan for our future, you know. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? What the fuck are you on, my man? What the fuck are you on? You're telling me that Iris was flying over the bridge. Really? Please answer the next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist. A real artist. You. Hi? Oh, I love that. Are you high? I love that. High. That feels really high up in the picture. Like how they had to change it at the last minute because we can't talk about drugs in Ace Attorney. But we can talk about murder in Ace Attorney. What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Whip your own cheek next time as you want to check your wild theories. Anyway, no one of y'all will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. But she was flying pretty high, my fleet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge. I mean, it was really something to see. This had to be some kind of missing date. Mr. Edward, please bring the witness back down to Earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edward. You have to step back to the cross-examination by force if necessary. Mr. Edward, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. You guys know. Look like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what do you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me. Damn. I know it looks bad, but it isn't drawn bad. Larry Cadet. Horrible Cadets of what he saw the night of the crime. Added to the court record. Now hurry up and cross-examine him. Okay. I think you have to do it again. I'm doing it. What do you think I was doing? Cadet him with the blade and ripped into him. Yeah, no. Where did you see this sight from? Hey, no need to shout. When I was lying in bed in that run-down shot, the flash of the lightning made me realize the blade was burning. I just walked there for a while from there, thinking about how nicely it was burning. Then, after about 5 minutes, I saw it. The defendant flying? That's right. That's why I decided to go to the bridge. I see. That all makes sense. Aside from the cadets itself. Yes, this cadets doesn't make any sense. I just need to convince the artist that his work is useless. Why did we tell this witness here? Didn't we tell him to talk about the snowmobile? I feel like it should be this one. Because we know that Iris wasn't wearing her hood.
Objection!
Yeah. Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I knew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 that's the truth. If that truly is the case, then there's only one thing we can say for certain. What might that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant Iris. What do you mean? I don't understand. What? A fool? Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, water tastes good sometimes. Okay. A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement made by an equally foolhardy fool. Oh god, I can't do it. A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement made by an equally foolhardy fool. Say that 10 times fast. How exactly do you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual who you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course he was. That rundown shot did slide away from the bridge. The hood is what told me this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. What the fuck? Ah! It seems that there are bigger fools in the world than the ones in the defensive bench. Larry, there is something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. You should not have told him that part. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps it's just that it was Wright who took flight? It would rhyme better. What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why did Nick have Irish's hood? What? AC, what's going on with Irish and Nick? Why, you Nick, you dog! I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious cadet is destined to disappear, discarded and discredited straight into the garbage. Damn, that's rude. It's destined to disappear, discredited and discarded straight into the garbage. What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today is the day I completely stupefy you. What? What is the meaning of your outburst? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Definitive? Evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge. And I, you wish to limb, shall prove it. I didn't expect to be asking this again, but we shall need your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this cadet, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm gonna feed you a whole whip. Because I'm gonna feed you a whole whopping serving of pain. You've been serving us a whopping of pain this whole time. Trust me. Proof that Iris flew. And we are to have a bathroom break right now. Hello, everybody. And welcome back. Yeah, keep going. I don't know why I said that. When I reached Dusty Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing the sphere hood. After all, no one else could have got the crystal sphere that... Yuri, how fucking dumb are you? Literally, your mentor was the one who owned the crystal sphere. I thought it looked familiar. Why would you think that this is... we literally have the thing. The thing isn't on it. They pretty obviously owned by your master. A crystal sphere? This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. Actually, not finders keepers. Because this is a tour of y'all, so finders keepers can go fuck itself. That sphere. Where did you find it? Oh, let me see, around here, somewhere. Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. But it had pretty much It had pretty much stopped snowing by then, but there was still some fun as I walked to the bridge. The torch accepts the crystal spear. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterwards. There's something on it. Huh? Oh my, it's blood. What? Blood? Did that mean that it came in contact with the real murder weapon? Or maybe she was just holding it when she died? Crystal Sabia found half buried in the snow near Dusty Bridge the night of the climb. Had blood on it, added to the court record. You ready, Ezzy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Yeri. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one gonna push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Yuri through Nim only a few minutes ago? Yeah, well, I don't know what I want. This is... I don't even know where to start. I don't even think I need to research any of it. I think I should just say do it now. Should I press these? I don't even know if I have to, because to me the contradiction is too obvious not to point out now. You think we should do it? I'm gonna do it.
Objection!
Yeah, obviously, man. Yeri, that night, there was someone who lost a crystal spear. There was? Who is this stupid, fucking, dumb, shitty idiot? Mr. Easton M, the mentor to a stupid, idiot, horrible, dumb-ass friend. Idiot. The victim. I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her cigar, you can see a familiar looking crystal spear. Hey! Like my photograph! Give it back! Ow. A crystal spear like this is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. They're not even the same size or the same color. What are you talking about, Von Tarma? They look nothing alike. In any case, I'm sorry, why was he arguing against that? That actually kind of proves her case. Her theory is that the weapon was thrown off the bridge, right? Wouldn't this only solidify the idea that that evidence was thrown out? Like, this doesn't really disprove her case at all. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim, Sadat, found at the scene of the crime. Ah, the crystal spear. It's gone. What? So, what did this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Irish after all. She was not wearing her hood, and more importantly, the crystal spear found at the landing site wasn't hers either. Take that, Yeri butt. That means the one who flew and dropped the spear was the victim, Mr. Yitunem?
Objection!
What? People don't fly? Is that what you're gonna argue? A fool alongside another fool on a foolish errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this Sadat, which I prefer to call a dribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that. I saw it. Wow. And this crystal spear. This is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Miss Elise Dunham was in her room on the night of the murder. There's no reason for her to go to Dusty Bridge. Therefore, this spear cannot... What are you not... This is the spear on the end of the wand. I am sure that if we put the ball on the spear, it will fit perfectly. Also, of course it's related to the taste. It is covered in blood. It is covered in blood, Montarma. Why are you arguing so hard against the idea that this beer is related to the taste?
Objection!
Yeah. Miss Francisca Montarma, you're dumb. The only people who will accept that information, goddamn, I cannot talk. The only people who will accept that explanation are the scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal spear was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe it had nothing to do with this case?
Objection!
That crystal spear, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. See? I was trying to say that. After the murder? There is blood on the crystal spear, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw off the investigation off the scent. Why wouldn't they throw the body away then? Which is the exact same reason he threw that ridiculous to death. Wait, are you saying he's the murderer? Or that the killer did exactly... Or that Yeri did exactly what the killer wanted him to do? What? You mean I'm the killer? Out of the way! All joking aside, just when did this crystal spear appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless it can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe they related to the taste. You literally just told us the way it's related. She makes a valid point. There's no evidence that Elise Dunham left Hayatora Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal spear can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to be transformed into something entirely different. Your rebuttal, Mr. Edgeworth. I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal spear. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you told will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for your very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal spear was dropped before the murder? Take it and save everything. Hey, it just occurred to me that you can read exactly the time it is when I'm playing the game. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it. That is the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Shit. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal should be a vital link to solving this case. You will do what? That look in your eye. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he had torn her. That should come at no surprise. Because right now, I'm Phoenix Wright. I am indeed Torner. Shit. That's worrisome. Okay, well, we have to do it. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edward. Okay. Evidence that proved that the triple beer was indeed dropped before the murder. Before the murder. I can't back out, so it has to be something. Okay. Maybe we made the list of evidence and we go down on it one by one. But I don't want to do that. That's tacky. Okay. Let's just get the easy ones out of the way first. It can't be our attorney badge. That would be dumb. It can't be the Magatama. The victim should be, or the victim should die. I don't really see how that proves that the murder should be was dropped before. The Shido. Maybe, but I don't really see how. This seems unrelated, so. The hood, unrelated. Note to Irish, probably unrelated. The map, probably unrelated, but I can't be sure. The data might be, but I don't exactly know how this would prove anything yet. Oh wait, I got it. Okay, wait. Okay, so it wasn't snowing, right? Which means that 10 p.m. Okay. And now, okay, so idea would be the crystal ball, right? Or, well, no, not the crystal ball, it's the weather report. Shit. Okay, go back, save data, go here, save data, okay. God damn it, okay. Okay, you do it. Okay, so we know it is not the weather report. I think we can verify that it is not the weather report. I'm gonna tie that note part out here yet. Okay, I'm gonna note part out here. And I'm sorry you have to see my ugly mod. Let me just weather report. I'm gonna put an action next to it. Okay, so it's not the weather report. Maybe it's... We gotta prove that it was dropped before the murder happened. What could prove that? Not the weather data. Not the occult magazine. Not the picture of a youth name. Not Irish's testimony, probably. Oh, maybe it's this. Yeah, no, it... Okay, not the autopsy. How do you spell autopsy? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna die probably, but don't worry, I'll go back in time. Okay, go back to here, go to autopsy, go to autopsy. Oh, I misspelled autopsy report, fuck. Okay, so it's not autopsy report or the weather report. We have to keep going. Okay, so I can't see it being this one. I can't because it has almost nothing to do with it, right? Picture of Chanel. Okay, I have 2, yeah, which means I'm gonna have to really start the dashing set now. And so let me try to figure out what side it's on at least. Okay, so it's one of these. It had to be one of these pieces of evidence. We know that it is not the autopsy report. So, is it the ball itself? Because it's not covered in snow? I'm gonna put twist the ball and see what I get because I have 1 life left. Twist the spear. Yeah! Okay. Give me 1 minute though, because I have to go to load. Go here. Yeah, no matter what, I'm gonna use a heart, but that's fine because I still have a ton, yeah. Okay. I'm guessing the crystal should be because it isn't. Wait. Why? How? Because it isn't covered in snow, I'm guessing? Is that the idea? This crystal spear, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. Okay, yeah, so I was basically right with the weather report. But, yeah, okay. It wanted me to do the crystal spear, I guess. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal spear would drop, it was snowing. If even only slightly. If only slightly. Snowing. On the other hand, you had to check the scene of the murder. As proven earlier, there are no Oh, okay, so you're saying that because one of them was half buried and the other one wasn't buried, you're basically trying to say that the one that is half buried came first. Well, this one is newer. Okay, I guess I get it, yeah. Therefore, the crystal spear must have been dropped before the murder. What? Order. On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusty Bland. And there, something had occurred upon the Shadak's crystal spear to come use. What could that have been? This spear, there's some blood on it. There is some blood on it. Is it there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusty Bland. Oh wow. The murder didn't take place in Hayatora Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool? And what part is so foolish, Miss Montarma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edward? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in Hayatora Temple courtyard. Her memory is wrong, or her memory isn't fully accurate. That isn't exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing. Haha, no, it ain't not. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be off from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Dusty Blade could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
Objection!
What about the fall? You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Youngler. What about the fall? Ayik Dunam's body was found at Hayatora Temple. Yeah, because it was driven there by the motorcycle or whatever. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusty Bridge to Hayatora Temple. You mean to suggest that someone carried the body all the way there? No. I made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of events is perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like an explanation. I'm not the smartest man in the universe. Well, it's obvious. I don't really have a motorcycle picture though, so all I can really show is this. Yeah, that makes sense. On that snowy night, there's one way a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon. But it could also have been used to carry a body. Oh god, my female heart is burning. This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edward. You've done yourself into... Oh, sorry. You've dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. Yeah, that isn't good for us. That is not good for us. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? Ha! You create from Sister Von Karma. In fact, the defense have proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim, Aziz Dunim, really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what did this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a tree should have never seen the truth, yet they don't describe it. This witness certainly said, oh my god. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. What the fuck are we talking about right now? This is Larry Butt. Edward, you are a prosecutor. You have seen the lowest possible branches of humanity. How is this guy sitting on one of the lowest ones? You have seen real murderers. How is this guy on one of the lowest possible branches? How many low branches are there? What the fuck, Edward? This is your friend. What the lit? However, he would never utter a line that would hurt a girl for whom he is enamored. That's true, at least. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The witness stands firm on this point. I see. Thank you. That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Ha. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Francisco von Tarma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason, and one alone, for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what it was all about? I was so confused the whole time. You should have just told me that from the start, buddy. Then I wouldn't have had Francisco whipping me all day. Miles Edgeworth, I don't care what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally blind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seemed to have slipped you by. What a shame, Francisco. This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all the evil system stands for. What the fuck? I cannot believe the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on a thorough investigation by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, right? The court is now adjourned. Damn. We did it, guys! Wow. Playing as Edgeworth has it. Yay, okay, don't get me wrong. It is the same, but yay. The way Edgeworth does things does feel marginally different from how Wright would take it on, you know? But, yeah. So, I guess, next time, we're gonna be seeing it Wright. I don't know how. He's in the hospital because he's sick. So, yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen that time in the investigation. Obviously, we're gonna have to figure out what the drawing means and what the orb being there means. What was the real scene of the murder? So many questions to uncover. But, yeah. I do like how Edgeworth wasn't just trying to bring the case to an end in one day. He knew that all he really needed to do was make it so it would have to keep going for another day. That's all he had to do. But, yeah. That is gonna end it for this video, and I don't know what is gonna happen that time. Dahlia did say, those words, I would never take a life. But what do they mean? Because, we do know that plastic surgery exists in this universe. So, maybe, Iris got plastic surgery and now she looks like Dahlia? I don't know. But it really does seem like we're shaping up to have another Yuta Yite situation. Yite in Recipe for the Turnabout. But anyway, I can't wait to see what happens next. And I also hope to see you guys there. Bye!
Here.
Also, it was fun seeing Mom Tarma again.
Here. Yeah, this must be my, yeah, this guy,